I'm having a great night. Get your water, your coffee, your wine, does not matter. And let's chit chat about homeschooling. I want to hear what's going on with you guys. Have you had a rough week, a great week? Do we have any brand new homeschoolers here? Hello, everybody, come on in. Welcome to my live. We are going live on Sunday instead of Monday. And so you might not be used to me, but hello, welcome. Come on in, everybody. I'm Christy Faith. I'm here to talk all things homeschooling. We are live right now on, I think, 4 different platforms. We are on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Come on into my live. I'd love to know where you live. First off, how many kids do you have? And are you a veteran homeschooler kind of within the first couple years? And if you are on the fence and are curious about homeschooling, I really want to know and I want to meet you tonight. So please, please, please come on in. Let me know what's going on and who you are. I have Scott over here managing all of the comments because I tend to miss a lot. Welcome, everybody. Come on in. I'm Christy Faith. I'm here to talk all things homeschooling, education. Do you guys have any issues going on with your kids right now that you need an expert, an educational, I guess that's what I am, an educational expert to talk through some issues? Maybe you need a little bit of a direction. I am here for you tonight for the next hour. Happy to be here. Welcome, everybody. Come on in. I'm Christy Faith. I first want to know where you are. What state are you in? I am in Denver, Colorado, the Denver metro area, but originally from Los Angeles. So welcome, everybody. Come on in. I'd love to know where you're from. Ask me any homeschool questions that you have. We are live tonight, particularly because I usually go live on Mondays, but it is Sunday. And it's because our Black Friday sale ends tonight. And so I didn't want anyone to have lingering questions regarding what it means to join Thrive and what it looks like once you are in there. So that's why we're live tonight, in case you have any questions about Thrive. If I have any ladies or gentlemen here on this live tonight that are already in Thrive, you can help answer questions. So hopefully we don't have a lot of trolls tonight. I don't know, with the post that I just posted, there might be. Let me know, Scott, if we have any, or you probably don't even have it up yet. Yeah, he's still working on it.
Brittany's from North Dakota.
Hi, Amy. Brittany from North Dakota. Which platform?
Amy's from Arkansas on TikTok.
Okay. And Amy from Arkansas, are you two homeschoolers currently? I would love to know. Are you kind of on the fence? And how are things going? It was so crazy. This morning at church, I was ordering a coffee and a gal was like, "Oh, I'm used to seeing you on TikTok or on Instagram," and she handed me my coffee and I was like, "Oh," she's like, "I'm a new homeschooler." I was so excited to meet her. And she is in her first year of homeschooling, and that was so fun. And I said, I want to get to know you. So, and I do, and that's genuine. And I have a heart for all homeschool moms to feel confident that they can do this. And if you are, is there anyone in here who's experiencing a lot of self-doubt right now, or you're worried you're not going to be able to do this, and you're worried you're not going to be able to pull this off? Please make yourself known to me tonight, because I want to speak directly to your heart and to encourage you. Do we have a question?
Well, yeah, A. O'Connor is kind of in that boat. We'll get to her in just a second.
Okay.
But Horsemanship with Faith, second generation homeschooler in California.
Awesome. Second Jenner. Let's give her some hugs. Double tap your screen. Let's give our second Jenners a hug. I just interviewed on my podcast a second gen homeschooler. Or did you want to interrupt me?
Yeah,
Scott?
Well, we have A. O'Connor who has trouble with motivation and new broken house. She said, "That's me. That's Shelby." So I guess there's some people struggling tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so there's people struggling with what is going on in the house?
So let's talk about new broken house. I guess her name's Shelby. So let's hear Shelby on Instagram.
Okay, Shelby on Instagram. Let's talk about it.
And then A. O'Connor, my son has no motivation for school, regardless of the few ways we've tried.
Okay. Your son has no motivation with school. I'm curious how old your son is. And it is not uncommon for kids to lack motivation. And there could be so many reasons why. This is often when we're in Thrive, we usually go back and forth in office hours, and then you and I go back and forth in DMs as well to try to get to the bottom of why your son is not experiencing motivation. But here on this live, without knowing you and without being able to go back and forth and really problem solve, this is the one little thing I want to put in your brain. For now. And if it doesn't apply, just throw it away. It's okay. I don't know you. I want to know you, but I don't. But generally speaking, people are not motivated when everything is extrinsic. So there have been studies on this. Intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation does not last. Extrinsic motivation are grades and performance and things like that. What is motivating to kids and human beings and adults, and this applies even to the workplace. You can read books like Punished by Rewards. That is a great book. Someone write that in the comments. There's also Carol Dweck's Mindset. There's another book by Denise Pope called Doing School. They all talk about this intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation, where kids within this traditional school mindset of getting grades and everything is based on their performance and how they're doing and their report card and, hey honey, they get in the car and how'd you do on that test? And I know you're a homeschooler, but go with me here. When it's all about how they are performing, they lose motivation really quickly. And there's a couple reasons for that. It could be, the bottom line is that they aren't intrinsically motivated. So it's our job as mamas and dads to figure out why exactly they aren't motivated. Because here's the thing I want you to hear tonight. Everyone is motivated by something. And in homeschooling, we have the opportunity to figure out and study our kids and figure out what does motivate them and then lean into that. And most of the time that has something to do with interest-led learning. Now, I am not an unschooler and I am not a 100% interest-led homeschooler either. I do give my kids a basic foundation, but what I will say is for subjects that there is freedom, I really do lean into their interests. We actually have a half an hour every day, which usually bleeds into more time. I just put it as a half an hour in their schedule of interest-led learning, and they have to tell me what they did. And my goodness, what these kids are coming up with. So it's in their schedule and it just bleeds into other things. And also I'm able to really study them and figure out what they're interested in. Like it could be stop motion movies or building Legos or reading a book or something. So we can get back to you. Ask me a follow-up question. We'll come back. But there were a lot more questions, right, Scott?
There are.
Okay,
yeah.
Lots of questions. Awesome.
Okay, and oh my goodness.
And
okay.
You guys, this is the night. Ask me about Thrive now because the Black Friday sale ends at midnight. So if you are on this live because you're curious about what Thrive is, maybe you've gotten my emails about Black Friday, ask me now because I'm here. Okay, yes. Next homeschooling question.
So, yeah, let's see. Homeschooling 6 doing great. Amy on on TikTok.
Hi, Amy on TikTok. Mwah.
Okay, this is one. Kaylin over on TikTok.
Kaylin.
Year 4. I'm depressed, and our our friendship group just fell apart.
Oh no, Kaylin. Is this Kaylin?
Kaylin.
Okay.
I want to. Davia.
Wait. Can we stop at Kaylin?
Yeah.
Okay, Kaylin. I have been where you are in like a really serious way. I don't know if you, I don't know if Thrive was on your radar, but so many mamas have found belonging. This is not me. Honestly, it's really not me trying to sell you something. I'm just saying like, this is why I joined Thrive. I started Thrive. So, I have been there. I have had friendship groups fall apart. We have had to leave a church and overnight, our kids lost all of their friends. And that's a big deal when you homeschool. And we have had to rebuild. So I have been where you are, and I am so, so sorry. And I do not want you to feel depressed. We have speakers coming in the coming months to talk about this kind of stuff, to talk about self-care, how to really take care of ourselves and fall in love with our kids and be the best parents that we can be. So, oh man, my heart goes out. Can we give her hugs? And you don't have to join Thrive. You just need a hug. Yeah.
Lynette.
But we can help you in there. We can.
Yeah.
but it's not for everybody. So if you're not sure if Thrive is for you or not, go to the page in my, a couple things. I have a good free stuff. So in my link tree, you guys, everybody should do this. I have a free 5-minute homeschool style finder. I have a free 26-page how to homeschool guide. I have book lists in there for free. So get all my free stuff. And if you are on this live and you haven't taken my 5-minute homeschool style finder, go take it and come back tonight, like right now, and let me know what you came out as, and we can talk about your homeschooling style, which is so cool. Okay. So.
And then we have, let's say, Lynette Davia. Yes, I feel this. I'm just starting this year, and I'm feeling so overwhelmed. I hope I'm doing enough.
Oh, Lynette! Oh my goodness! Yes, Lynette. So on December 1st, I'm launching the Homeschool Success Framework, and it is an 8-step process that you go through. And I literally have, that is one of the tiers. It is literally, am I doing enough? And then the next one is, am I enough? Because aren't those 2 questions we all ask ourselves when we're homeschooling? Because we're scared to death. And here's the thing, the stakes are high. Like, we can't mess this up. This is our kids' education. And I feel like people downplay homeschooling a lot and say, oh, it's so easy. It's easier than you think. Well, yeah, like if you're thinking about, I can't homeschool because it will take me 7 hours a day. Well, we all know it's easier in that sense. It does not take us 7 hours a day. But this is what I will say, is that it's not easy. We give up a lot to homeschool. We take on a burden that was not ours. A lot of us, society says this should not be our burden, right? We should hand over our kids, and we are saying no. We are making financial sacrifices with our time, all sorts of things. And then having this mental load of wanting to make sure our kids are set up for success and set up for life. And believe it or not, a lot of moms, it takes a while to figure that out. And sadly, what can happen when you're 2, 3, 4 years into homeschooling is you're like, oh crap, I made this big mistake, right? I counsel moms all the time, and we have to like reconfigure their homeschool because their kids might be behind in certain areas. And that's really why I started Thrive, is I want to shorten that learning curve. I want you guys set up on the right track to have a successful homeschool that your kids will thank you for when they are adults. My goal is for each and every one of your kids when they are in their 20s and 30s to say, Mom, thank you so much for homeschooling me. You set me up for success. I had a great childhood. I am so thankful, and I see the sacrifices that you made. Now, is a 12-year-old going to do that? No, but we can build a homeschool. We can build a homeschool that they will thank us for later, and they may not see every detail right now. But that is really important to me, that we set our kids up for success, that no doors are closed to them. Maybe they are college bound, maybe they're not, doesn't matter. We still don't want doors closed. So I'm going to acknowledge right now, homeschooling is not the easiest thing on the planet. It bothers me when moms say, oh, it's so easy, just do it. Just figure it out as you go. No, I'm sorry. This is serious business. We want our kids to be successful and happy adults, right? Anyway, I don't know if I'm getting hearts right now because I can't see, but that's my little soapbox. And that's why I started Thrive, is I want to turn you guys into, like, I know a lot of you are struggling with self-doubt, and I want to turn you into like, oh, I'm worried I'm not doing this right, to like, heck yeah, I homeschool, and nothing can do what I can do. Nothing can. That's where I want you to be, because you can be there. Because homeschooling really is the best option for kids if we're able to do it. It truly is. I just taught an entire workshop on socialization this past Wednesday, and it was like, I went into the school system and the statistics, and it's like, why on earth are homeschoolers accused of not being socialized? Like, have you seen these statistics in the public school? Well, anyway, so, all right, I know there's more questions, and I don't need to get on my soapbox.
Belle says, I hate that I always question if my kids are on track with other kids their age.
No, and you don't.
I feel like I'm not doing enough.
Belle, where are you? Are you on TikTok, Instagram? Mwah, hugs. Yes, you don't have to feel that way. You really, really don't. Yeah.
Logan Love, I really want to homeschool, but I live in a small apartment. Is that cruel?
Absolutely not. Are you kidding? No, it's not. But I get that. I get that because our society tells us that our kids need to be around crowds of other children for 7 hours a day, 5 days a week for 12 years. Even the fact that you're worried about that tells me that you're gonna do a great job. Yeah, I mean, it's okay to be home on certain days, and then you're gonna make sure that your kid, you're in groups and you have friends and all of that stuff. So it's absolutely not cruel at all.
Morgan just pre-ordered your book.
Morgan. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Awesome. Okay, Morgan. Are you on my email list? Because not right this second, but right after Christmas, we're building a launch team, of savage mamas who are going to help us launch the group. So I hope you're on my email list because then you'll be invited. I love that you pre-ordered my book. Yay! That's so exciting. Am I too close to the camera?
Brittany has a great question. I'm gonna get back to you.
Okay, Brittany, we'll get to you.
But the new broken house over on Instagram.
New broken house.
Okay. I worry that I don't have what it takes. I'm a stay-at-home mom. My husband works long hours. The emotions run high for my 5.5-year-old, and I struggle to keep him focused with a 2-year-old.
Yes. Oh my goodness, girl, I would love to see you in office hours on Wednesday. We have office hours I split up office hours based on the age of your kids. So we have office hours for preschool to 2nd grade, and then office hours for elementary age. We have office hours for teens. And then I also have nighttime office hours because a lot of us work too, or we're so busy that we can't even do a Zoom until our kids are in bed. So there are a lot of mamas who are in Thrive whose husbands are in the military or they travel a lot. Scott actually traveled for 2 straight years. He was gone every single week. And I had a 5-year-old, 2-year-old twins, and a baby. And I was alone for hours on end. And I remember I would get everybody into bed, and they were all too young to clean up yet, that age. And I would walk down the stairs and I would look. My house looked like I had been robbed, and I would clean until 10, 11 p.m. every night, and they were just too little. You can teach your 2-year-olds to kind of pick up, but I can't do dishes yet. So anyway, I hear you. It's so hard. Yes, it absolutely is possible, and you can build a community for yourself. But I understand your fears. Yeah. And you guys are literally speaking to why I started the 8-step Homeschool Success Framework. It's like steps that you go through to know for sure that you are doing a good job, that you are checking every box and crossing every T and dotting every I, so you can be confident that you are doing right by your kids. But I even take it a step further. I don't just want you to think, oh, I'm doing as good as the system. My goal is that you literally finish that framework and say, there is no way that the school can even come close to what I can provide with home education. That is where I take you guys. So that is in Thrive. And right now we have our Black Friday sale. If you're interested, ask me questions about Thrive here tonight because the Black Friday sale does end at midnight. So.
Okay. Yeah. Kaylin says, I missed what and where Thrive is.
Yeah. Thrive is in my link tree. It is my online homeschool community. We have hundreds of women in there. And in my community, we have coaching. If you go to my link tree and just click on that, and it tells you everything we offer. We have office hours in there. We have a monthly workshop, or it's really a master class, basically. Every single month it's live, but it's also available on replay. We offer a supplement every month. It's just a really great place. I started Thrive because I was tired of women questioning themselves. When we don't need to. You need the information to know that you can do this and you can do a kick butt job. And so, yes. And so on December 1st, I'm launching the Homeschool Success Framework. It's like an 8-step program that you kind of go through, but it's in Thrive. It's in my community. Okay, homeschooling questions.
Yep. Morgan, who pre-ordered the book, she said, I'm not, I think referring to a group, I'll jump on it. Ex-public school teacher, and I agree with everything you've been saying.
Yeah, girl, I was in the classrooms too. Yeah. And it's really hard for us, by the way. So here's what's interesting is I was once at a party and a gal she introduced me to a stranger that I hadn't met before. And she's like, oh, this is Christy. She homeschools because she was a teacher. And I was like, that's loaded. But that's kind of where society is. And people think that a lot of us are ex-teachers and that's why we homeschool, and it could be also why a lot of us ex-teachers have the confidence to homeschool. But let me tell you, the amount of deschooling we have to do because we were teachers is crazy. And that's what you hear all the time. It's like all these ex-teachers were like, oh my goodness, my first 2 years of homeschooling were a disaster because I just replicated the system. And I was there too, my first early years of homeschooling. Yeah.
Beautiful Strange over on TikTok. I took your test and I got eclectic.
Ooh, fun! I'm eclectic too. But I'm eclectic and I lean very Charlotte Mason classical. Yes?
My biggest challenge has been trusting my own instincts.
Yes.
My way of teaching is unique and I am making my own curriculum basically. I'm brand new.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I would love to get to know you. Yes. And you're trusting your instincts, studying your kids. This is the benefit of homeschooling, is that we don't have to teach 30 kids one lesson. We can teach one kid at a time, or I have twins. I combine a lot of subjects, think like one room schoolhouse. But yeah, that is mama's biggest struggle is, am I doing this right? But the real fear, like the deep fear for us, is what's crippling, truthfully, is what if my kid's not set up for success? What if because of some decision I made, doors are closed to them? That's our true deep fear. And quite frankly, society feeds it because they want, you're homeschooling? Like, how are you going to this? How are you going to that? I had a lady once say, well, the government checks up on you, right? I literally was asked that. Well, the government checks up on you, right? And I was like, well, the government. Anyway, but that's the mindset that we have, that somehow parents can't be trusted. That's new, you guys. In my book, in Homeschool Rising, which is my book, it's coming out in the spring, I go through the history of compulsory schooling and public schooling. It's only in the last 150 years that parents have been viewed as not qualified to home educate. It's really new. We're talking a couple generations. Before that, all throughout history, like Aristotle, all the way to George Washington, no one questioned parents' abilities to teach their kids. It's only in the last 150 years, thank you, Prussia, who started the system, and then we adopted it. But yeah, I feel you. It's hard. We're just against the grain in society. So... yes.
Shell Bell says, community means everything. We just moved from a community that wasn't great. Now they're thriving.
Oh, it is so, isn't that so true? So on Wednesday in my socialization workshop, I mentioned that. I'm like, kids in our system, they're stuck in a classroom. They're often stuck with the same group of kids for 12 straight years. And the benefit of being a homeschool parent is if we're in an unhealthy community, or maybe there's some cliques or unhealthy friend groups and you've tried to work on it. I'm not saying like run every time, of course, but we have the freedom to change, to remove our kids from toxic situations and to put them in healthier ones. And community is not perfect. Community is never perfect. But, if there's ongoing bullying and mean and manipulation and toxicity ongoing and you've tried to deal with it, move, right? Yeah.
Brittany on TikTok.
Hi, Brittany.
Thanks for being patient. How do you prepare kids for SAT and college and not do testing in your homeschool?
Oh, easily, yeah. So I do testing in my homeschool. So prepping, so we did 17 years of test prep when we had our center. We were very good at it. We got kids into Ivy Leagues, perfect scores on their SATs and ACTs. So here's the thing you need to know about test prep, particularly the ACT and the SAT, is those are tests that are logic and reasoning tests. They have nothing to do with what you are learning in school. So the fact that you have a chapter 8 test in pre-algebra has nothing to do with how well you're going to score on the math section of the SAT. I'm going to take it a step further. You can get a perfect score on the science section of the ACT and literally not know any science at all. So one of the things that I scream from the rooftops, and I've talked to Jean Burke about this, I had her on my podcast, so that's going to be coming out in the next few weeks. But we were talking about how you have to treat test prep like it's its own subject in school, and that's a benefit of homeschooling. So basically, that's why valedictorians in high school bomb the SAT and the ACT, because these are not tests that are testing you on material. And here's why. Across our country, every state has different requirements. Every high school teaches different things. In order to actually standardize a test, they have to be standardized questions. They can't really be based on content. So they're skill tests, basically. And then people say, oh, well, I'm not a good test taker. I don't have a high IQ. I don't think I'll do as well on those. That's not true either. Those skills can be learned. So do I give my kids, so to answer your question directly, do I give my children chapter tests and unit tests on every ding dong thing in my homeschool? Absolutely not. That is a method that is implemented when you teach a classroom of 30 kids. The only way to know if a kid has understood a chapter of a novel and if they've comprehended it is to give them a quiz on it. But we're talking about it every day. I know my kids know it. So what I do is periodically, I do give them tests so that they're exposed to tests. They don't need them every week, though, to be prepared. And then I also do standardized testing for my state. I'm required to assess my kids every other year in the state of Colorado, and I choose to do it with a standardized test, and I go over test-taking strategies and things like that. The other thing I also do in my homeschool, which you guys are going to think I'm Tiger Mom, and I'm not. I'm actually the opposite. This is why I do this. Is we start SAT and ACT prep in junior high in our homeschool. Because by the time my kids are juniors in high school, when they have part-time jobs and they're busy and this and that and the other, I don't want to have to burden them with a boot camp of SAT and ACT prep. I want them to be so used to taking those tests that it's like nothing. They've taken 20 practice tests already. There's nothing new under the sun. That is a really great way to do it. And I taught test prep for 17 years. So anyway, that's my answer. Yes, okay.
Piper Lucy says, geneticists confirm my kinder has intellectual disability.
Okay.
Hard to find peers to socialize with. And how do I best teach him? Worried I'm not able to teach as well as a specialist.
Well, and that could be true. It could be that when you are homeschooling your child, you are bringing in a team to help you. And you said that a geneticist has tested your child. I hope you have some sort of a report that explains how your child learns best. I'm hoping that you have that. And that is tremendously helpful. But you might need to have a team. So don't think for 1 second the schools will do better than you building a personalized team, because even when there's IEPs and people think, oh, IEPs, individualized attention or individualized educational plan. No. I know they are legal requirements, but I have yet to see a school properly implement an IEP in all of my 20 years, and I've yet to see a parent happy with the way the school is teaching their child who has a diagnosed learning disability or a special need of support. I have never seen a family happy. So, but no one knows your child like you. No one can build a team like you can and adjust the team like you can. So, I don't know your particular situation. I don't know how severe the disability is, so I can't speak to that because I don't know you. But generally speaking, moms tend to feel like they are not qualified more than they feel like they are. So I'm kind of leaning towards that in my advising of you. Yeah. So, and quick break, if you guys are, today is the last day of the Black Friday sale to join Thrive Homeschool Community, which is my homeschool community where you can basically learn how to become a confident homeschooler that is like building a homeschool your kids will thank you for later. So if you're curious about what that means, now is the Black Friday. You're probably never going to get in as cheap as today. So go to my link tree. It closes at midnight. And ask me any questions right now on this live. We'll continue with homeschooling questions, but a lot of you guys, when I'm answering you on a live, I'm just wishing we were in office hours and I could see you on Zoom and we could just figure this out together, either on Zoom or in direct messaging. I have mentors in Thrive as well. So, because a lot of these issues, like, you need a back and forth. You know, you may not need a full-blown $500 consultation, but you know, sometimes a lot of these are complicated issues where you do need a back and forth. So, yeah.
How do you go about SAT prep testing? Asked Kaylin. And Kay Tahiti over on Instagram says, can you talk about College Genius?
Yes. So I love Jean with College Prep Genius. Someone can write it, I think. Okay, so I just had her on the podcast. It's not edited yet, but she told me that Christy 50 is still up. Yeah. So I didn't even know that. She's like, no, I just have a coupon code for you. I was like, okay. It's who we use. We use College Prep Genius. You can go to that website. I absolutely love Jean. She's a personal friend. And someone asked me how I do test prep in my own home. We taught test prep for 17 years. The way we do it is slow and with a long runway. So right now with my junior hire, we are doing it once a week for 30 minutes, learning a strategy a week, doing a little practice. It'll amp up as the years go on, but that's how we do it.
Krista over on TikTok says, what do you think
Krista.
about keeping grades for third grade? My state doesn't require it.
Oh, you don't need to. If your state doesn't require it, you don't need to. You know exactly how your kid's doing. If you're worried, yeah, keep records, but most of us, if our states don't require us to grade everything and have a file for it, we generally don't. Yeah. I wouldn't worry about it, especially if now it's very important that we all homeschool legally. She is saying that her state does not require this, so I'm telling her not to fret over it then.
Brittany's so sweet. You guys, office hours saves lives.
Oh, which Brittany is that? Is it?
I'm not
That's
sure.
so sweet.
Oh, Brittany.
Oh, it's my Brittany. Oh,
Yeah.
Brittany, you're so sweet. Thanks for saying that.
Jules.
We've shed a lot of tears in office hours, I will say.
You're going to love this one from Jules.
Jules!
Christy,
Jules.
Did you get your hair done recently? It looks fantastic.
Jules. Okay, can we talk about my hair? Is Jen on here? Is Purple Switch here? Okay, so my answer is yes. I got my hair done on Friday. Now, I haven't curled it. This is just a blowout. But I changed hairdressers. And I'm really happy with the change. And I was with the previous person for quite a while, and it was time. And my husband was like, Christy, you never like your hair. I'm whispering like she might be listening. Why? I don't know. Because she might be listening. But Scott was like, Christy, you never like your hair. And my sister was like, go to my hairdresser. You never like your hair. I promise you'll love your hair. I have been with her. This is my third visit. I love my hair. It's just like an up-leveling, right, people? Yeah, and the thing is I'm loyal. I'm really loyal. And I'm to the extent where I'm probably too loyal. So it was hard. It was hard.
Okay, Sarah says...
Okay, we don't really want to talk about my hair.
Should I be
Or
using,
do we? Or do we?
Should I be using an accredited curriculum for my fourth grader? Just pulled my son and using easy peasy, but not sure it's enough since it's free.
Okay, so... I want you to join Thrive. All these new homeschool mamas. Okay, so... my answer is no. You do not need to use an accredited curriculum, and I would love for you to take the Homeschool Style Finder. It is free. I want to know what you lean towards. I really, really do. And I will be here. Will you go and take that quiz and then come back on the live? And let me know what you came out as, because easy peasy and accredited curriculum is in that traditional style. There are 8 other pedagogies that could really be resonating with you that you might love. But what do new homeschool moms usually do? They usually buy a curriculum that replicates the system at home. It's just, we don't know what else to do. And I will say, curriculum companies with really deep marketing pockets, they know that. They pay a lot of money to market to brand new homeschooling moms who think, oh, I'm homeschooling, I'll just buy that. So Sarah, take the quiz and come back.
She says, how do I take it?
You go to my link tree and it says free 5-minute homeschool style finder. Click on that and go bippity boppity boo. And then it'll spit out what you are and then come back. Okay. It's free. It's free, you guys. Anyone here on this live can go take that style finder.
Amber says, what curriculum do you use? Everyone seems to love Good and Beautiful, but my girl wasn't a fan.
Yeah, I use a lot. I'm an eclectic homeschooler. I have 4 children, and I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to tell you all the different ones I use for all my children. But I lean towards classical and Charlotte Mason homeschooling, though I consider myself eclectic. So usually my curriculum choices lean in there. And I have a free curriculum recommendation download. And it's good. It's like several pages of like the top most reputable curricula options for each subject, like math, reading, language arts. So go there and grab that. Okay. So the reason why I can't tell you what curriculum I use is because I don't buy a box. I don't buy like, oh, I'm going to use that company and then all of my kids do that company. That is not how I homeschool, like by a stretch, even a mile. I am like, yeah, I use a lot. Okay.
What is Thrive?
What is Thrive? Thrive is my homeschool community. So basically the story is, I have loved doing consultations with parents, but the reality is that private consultations are expensive and they're a one and done. And I was feeling like I wasn't really fulfilling my calling. And my calling is to make homeschool mamas confident and to help you build homeschools that your kids thank you for later, ones that set your kids up for success. Because a lot of us are crippled with fear that we're going to mess this up. Am I doing this right? I'm not a trained teacher. Am I even qualified? We just doubt ourselves so much and we don't need to. And I wanted to be able to reach as many mamas as possible. And so the way to do that is with an online community in an affordable way where you attend workshops or master classes, you get training, you come to office hours, you ask your questions. There's a thriving, non-judgy community that we can, pat you on the back on the good days and give you a virtual hug on the hard days. So if you go to my link tree and you click on Thrive Homeschool Community, it describes everything we do. I don't want to go, because I would go on we do a lot, so it would take too long to explain right this second. But you can go and read that. And we do have a Black Friday sale right now that ends at midnight tonight. That's why I'm on the live today, is in case people had any specific questions about Thrive. Okay.
It's Baby Darlin.
Baby Darlin, hi.
Okay, what I need best curriculum for a super ADHD kid. He can't stay still and also dyslexic, but he's falling behind in school. And I'm homeschooling now, starting tomorrow. So she's brand new.
Okay, you're homeschooling your child who has ADHD starting tomorrow. It's not about the curriculum you choose. It's about how you organize your day. I would love to have you on office hours this week and we can go through it. Like, I can't tell you how many mamas, they join Thrive the very first week they're homeschooling and they show up to office hours and they're like, okay, all right, okay. Or they're crying because they're like, what did I get myself into? So it's really not about what curriculum you're choosing. It's not about that at all. It's more about how you're structuring your day and how you are learning your kid to give him what he needs and to teach him in a way that resonates with him best. So, because most curriculum on the market does the job. The the beauty of homeschooling, the gift of homeschooling, is that we have freedom in how and when we do these amazing curriculum options for our kids that really sets them up for success in life. So, every kid should be learning math. It's not particularly, there are certain math programs that maybe I would recommend more than others for a kid with ADHD, but more than that, it's how are you doing your math? Maybe we do it twice a day, not once. If your kid has ADHD, maybe they have a problem with their working memory, so you do an extra 20 minutes a day just on math facts and separate from the math. That's the type of thing we do with homeschooling that public schools can't even hold a candle to that. They can't even come close to this level of setting our kids up for success, but also redeeming education for our kids so that they fall in love with learning. Because a lot of our kids in the system who have diagnosed learning challenges or disabilities, they are shamed in the system. They feel stupid because they are singled out. They have to go to separate classrooms. They have to sit there during recess with extra time. Every kid knows something's wrong with them. They know something's wrong with them. What if that narrative is completely changed? What if we actually tell them the truth that no, you're just wired differently, and I'm going to be able to help you learn in the way your brain naturally learns, and there's nothing wrong with you. We all have strengths and weaknesses, and we're going to figure out what's in your toolbox, and we're going to get you where you need to go. And this is the best part. I'm about to cry. This is the best part, is you are able to look at your kid in the eye and have a heart to heart and tell them with your full heart, I am not going to leave you. I am going to make sure that you are set up for success. This is why I've chosen to homeschool you, because I don't think the schools are setting you up right. And I don't like how the schools are making you feel. But I'm going to stop at nothing to give you the education that you deserve. And whoever's listening on this live tonight, this can only be achieved through a more individualized education, like homeschooling. That's the only way. So particularly for kids who have special needs, I beg parents to consider it. Just consider homeschooling if your child has special needs, because they are so shamed in the system and they're told something's wrong with them and they start to believe those toxic things about themselves. It just breaks my heart. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me take a sip of water.
Aaron says tears. Stacia says that's powerful.
Yeah, you guys, yeah.
Ola Zabel says, how do I get a consult with you?
So you can book a consult on my website, but a less expensive way to do it is to join Thrive, because it is pretty darn close. You get to DM me and my mentors, and I show up to 5 Zooms a month where we get to talk through your individualized questions in like a group coaching context. So to save you money, I would prefer if you started with Thrive, and then usually through DMs and Zooms, we can avoid an expensive consultation. That's my goal, usually. Very, very rare if I say, okay, wow, yeah, the blank is hitting the fan and we need to meet. Usually we figure it out that way for way cheaper. So, yeah.
Aaron says, you truly have a gift. Thank you for all the advice you give so freely.
Oh, Aaron, you're so welcome. Yeah, I'm happy to do it, and I love going on these lives, and my community isn't a fit for anybody, but I'm sorry, but I'm still going to go live, and I'm going to help you as much as I can, even though I don't know you guys. I feel like there are some general things that can be helpful. So, yeah, that's so sweet of you to say.
Okay, you're going to love this one.
Okay.
Stacia wanted to chime in and also say, your hair looks fabulous tonight.
Was she here for the previous hair comment?
I don't know.
I changed hairdressers. And I'm really happy with my hair. And I'm a little sweaty right now. And it's not curled. Tomorrow I'll do the bend, the bend, not the beach curl. I guess that's out now. It's now a bend. So I'm working on the bend. But thank you.
Jessica, I love you so much. Listen,
Oh.
we did homeschool for a whole year. We called it our mental health year, and you helped me a lot.
Oh, I'm so glad. That's awesome. Mwah, mwah. Hugs to you. Yay!
That's great. Okay. Oh, one lucky wife says, were you a teacher?
I was. So if you go to my website, go to my bio, because my background is different. So I was not a classroom teacher for 20 years. I started out as a classroom teacher, and then we started a private learning center and consulting firm that we ran for 17 years. So that is why we did a lot of remediation, a lot of tutoring, a lot of test prep. So that is why I have experience with K to 12. It's why I've been teaching teachers for 17 years, because I taught my staff. And I taught my staff in a non-school way, because we had to undo a lot of things with how people want to teach kids or think kids need to be taught in certain ways. And so I trained all of our teachers there. I was the liaison between parents and educational professionals like psychologists and therapists and principals and admissions counselors and things like that. So go to my bio if you're curious, because it's a little bit of an unconventional educational background that I have. So
Rebecca says, recommendation for third grade history. We tried Curiosity Chronicles and she loved it.
Oh, awesome. Great. Yeah. So for history, I try to avoid textbooks, you guys. I like to teach history through living books. And if you want to know what a living book is, ask me, and I will spend time talking about that tonight. So I really avoid textbooks. I want my kids, when we are learning history, I want them to have a connection and an emotional experience with what they're learning, so that they really not only remember it, because I'm not super interested in my kids being able to regurgitate facts. I want them to, I feel like the purpose of learning history is to understand humanity, mistakes we've made, so that we are changed, so that we can learn lessons from the past and be better people ourselves and do better ourselves. To me, that is the purpose of learning history. So I'm not going to have my kids memorize the 12 reasons for the fall of the Roman Empire, unless, I'm not against memorizing things, unless I feel like those particular things are necessary for them to truly understand in order to be better people. Because you can't ever learn everything you need to know, right? Like that view of education is like that bucket, what Plutarch talks about, like filling a bucket. Well, we forget what we've learned. Do you know what we don't forget? We do not forget things that we have emotional responses to. Sadly, both positive and negative. This is why, like, we remember our childhood traumas, right? And we remember like the best Christmas of our childhood. It's because of that emotional connection, and studies show that it makes connections in the brain. So when you teach history through story, it can do that in a really cool way. So right now we're in the middle of listening to The Hiding Place by Corrie ten Boom, the autobiography, and it's quite emotional and very serious, but that is the context in which I want my kids to learn about the Holocaust, where they actually are play by play seeing what these people went through and what it meant to hide people in your home and what it felt like to have your home raided and all of that. So not just a textbook paragraph blurb. No. Like that's not what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So is someone texting you? Okay. All right.
Britt,
sorry, I have your phone here.
Britt says, Kinder mom struggling to do more than just phonics and math with a toddler at home.
Yes.
Any advice?
Yeah. We talk about this kind of stuff all the time in our Littles office hours. I think, you guys, don't we have Littles this week? Littles is at 1 I think it's at 1 on Wednesday. We have our littles. It's for preschool to 2nd grade. And a lot of those mamas in there also have babies and toddlers, or are pregnant and have a toddler and are trying to homeschool their kinder, right? This is what I want to say to encourage you right now, is that I love you're focusing on the 2 most important things, literacy and basic math skills. So give yourself a hug. That instinct was great. Our kids don't need to be learning history right now. Your kid doesn't. They're not going to remember it, right? And they're not mature enough to really internalize these life lessons that I was just talking about 30 seconds ago. My kids are older now. So you're making the right decisions. I would really make sure that whatever reading curriculum you are using is a phonics-based Orton Gillingham curriculum. And when you're homeschooling a kindergartner, it's like an hour max, like even if that, probably less. So, and yeah, these are what I truly believe this. When you have your oldest as a kindergartner, 1st grade, 2nd grader, and then your kids are all younger, I think those are the hardest years to homeschool. I think they are the most physically taxing. I think they are really stressful because most homeschool moms are newer homeschool moms in that phase. It's really scary. You're constantly worried you're not doing enough. Maybe the in-laws are like, is your kid reading yet? Right? Like looking at you like, what kind of a job are you doing? So, but there are things you can do and strategies that you can do to help manage the mayhem. It's actually one in my Homeschool Success Framework. I have an entire section, it's towards the end, it's called Managing the Mayhem, where I'm going into, okay, so how do we do all this? How do we have a baby? And I do the laundry and I plan the meals and I grocery shop and I make sure there's shampoo, which by the way, we ran out of shampoo this week. Maybe that's how we do it, is we forget the shampoo. But because we ran out of shampoo this week. So, but anyway, just to encourage you that you are in probably the most taxing years. And as your kids get older, when you homeschool, your kids get a lot more independent. So hang in there. You can do this. And I just want to make sure that you're in really good curricula options so that hour that you're doing, or less than an hour, is just packed with good stuff. Okay.
Britt says, thank you. Needed to hear
You're
this.
welcome.
Hard not to compete with what public school is doing.
Mm-hmm. It really is. And they're not doing a good job. And the kids aren't remembering it anyway. But because they can say, oh, I taught that, people automatically assume the kids know it. And they don't.
Oh my God.
That's why us teachers spent all of September reteaching what kids learned last year. Because they don't remember it. Okay.
Okay. I think you asked Amanda. She said, I took the quiz. I think this is the one. I can't remember. But she said, Unit Studies, Interest-Led, Charlotte Mason.
Unit Studies, Interest-Led, Charlotte Mason. You should not be using Easy Peasy. No. Yes. Okay. Look at you. Interest-Led. Good.
We just have a ton of questions about curriculum.
Okay, tons of curriculum questions. What should I use? So so everybody here wondering, what does Christy use? What curriculum should I use? Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you have not taken the 5-minute homeschool style finder, it's free. It is in my link tree. Take it. Take that quiz. Because if you were in Thrive, the first thing I would ask you in a DM is, what were your quiz results? Because I cannot tell you what curriculum to buy until I know what style resonates with you. Then we can go into, okay, for math, I would look at these 3. For history, I would look at this. For English, look at this. I have to know what your style is first. We do a lot of curriculum advising in Thrive, a lot of it. And curriculum changing, or this isn't working for my kid's learning style, or it works for one kid but doesn't work for the other. So you got to do that quiz first so that at least I know what your style is. And then when you are in Thrive, we go back and forth as to like what kind of learner your kid is and what your lifestyle is like. And then we can get into the nitty gritty of particular ones to look for. So this is the Black Friday sale right now for Thrive. The price will never be this low, and it ends at midnight. It's why I'm doing the live on Sunday rather than Monday. Monday is when I usually go live because I knew people were going to have questions before the Black Friday sale ends. So please go to my Linktree, take a look at the Black Friday sale, and yes. Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Brittany says, also, Christy did a whole workshop on the different pedagogies.
Thank you, Brittany. See, she remembers things I don't. Of course, I remember the pedagogies. Yes, I have an entire workshop in there on, you guys, do you want to know some of the workshops in there? I have the 9 homeschooling styles. I have a workshop on what curriculum do I buy. I just did a killer workshop on socialization. If you're worried about socialization, girls, you need to watch that workshop. So we have workshops on parenting. One next month, I'm having a parenting expert teach that one. We have all sorts of people come in, experts to come in to teach Thrive workshops, and then I teach them as well. So, okay.
It was Sarah who, I think she was the easy peasy.
Okay, Sarah was the easy peasy?
And
okay.
She took it and got interest-led, unit study, and Montessori.
Yeah, you should not be an easy peasy if you're interest-led, unit study, and Montessori. Easy peasy is not a fit. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And then the workshop I teach on the curriculum, which you get all my workshops free when you join Thrive. There is a download attached to that workshop that it tells you what the top parent reads are for that style, and then the top curriculum choices are for that style. So
Ashley's so sweet. Thrive is worth it, and trust me, you'll be glad you did it. And
Ashley.
Tati wants a recap on what Thrive is.
Okay, Thrive is my homeschool community. So I started Thrive because I felt like I wasn't reaching enough of you. You know, I do a ton of consultations, but they're pricey and they're one and done. And I was feeling like when I would go on lives or I would see comments on social media, so many mamas need ongoing support. And so many of you are second guessing yourselves, and rightfully so, because we have taken on the burden of our kids' education on our shoulders. That is heavy. We have one shot. We don't want to mess this up. We probably have in-laws or our grandparents and society, let alone society, telling us we shouldn't be doing this. Our kids are going to end up weird. They're not socialized. How are your kids going to get into college and all of that? And I was frustrated that so many of you live in self-doubt throughout this entire homeschooling journey. Or you guys don't come into your confidence until you've graduated your first homeschooler and then you realize, oh yeah, I can totally do this. I don't want that. I want you guys to be savage homeschoolers now because no one can do a better job than you. No one. You do not need a teaching credential. What you need is to love your kid and to go to the ends of the earth for them, which you do and you have. So it's really about sourcing, and my heart is that you guys are confident, and I want you to build successful homeschools. So I'm not going to be someone that says, oh no, your kid will read when they're ready. No, I don't believe that advice. I'm also not going to tell you that homeschooling is easy, because it's not. It's a huge burden. It's a change of lifestyle. It's easier than a lot of people think because you don't actually teach 7 hours a day. So that's why people say that. But it's actually a pretty significant mental load that we are choosing to take on ourselves with a total crippling fear that we might mess up on something that we didn't even know we were messing up on. And that our kid all of a sudden maybe can't get into college because of a random mistake we made when they were in 4th grade. This is what keeps us up at night. And so I am obsessed. I am obsessed with making you guys confident. So I'm curious, the ladies in here who are in Thrive, do you feel like, I really want to know, honestly, the gals in Thrive, do you feel like Thrive does that for you? Do you feel like you are a confident homeschooler because of what Thrive has given you? Because that really is my goal. So if you're curious about Thrive, you can go to my Linktree. No pressure, it's not for everybody, I get it, but it is the only way I could think of to make the advising that I think moms in America need at an affordable price. So, and there is a Black Friday sale happening now, and it's closing at midnight. Okay, next question.
Oh, Courtney says yes, 100%.
Oh, Courtney, yeah.
Sandra says, how do I make sure my kindergartner and second grader are at the level they should be?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's step 4 is, how do I know I'm doing enough? And I help you. I help you know if you're doing enough. I help you. We analyze what you're currently doing, and I am able to assess and see if there are any gaps, because there could be, and I get it, and those things keep you up at night. So we would need to go back and forth, and I would love for you to tell me what you're doing currently, and then we can kind of go back and forth. And people do that all the time in the DMs, where they're like, okay, my third grader, boom, brrr, and then she lists all the, and you know, surprisingly, a lot of times I respond like, oh, you might want to look into blank. And the mom's like, oh, yeah, totally. So, okay.
Anders says, struggling with my first and second grader and 10-month-old baby.
Okay.
And then she says, do you have a list of open and go curriculums for each style?
So not every style is open and go. But yes, yeah, if you just want to grab my free download that is the curriculum recommendations, a lot of those on there are open and go. And it's hard. Yeah, you have a first grader and then a 10-month-old. I know. It's a really hard time. But rest assured, you know, I hope you're not homeschooling like 6 hours a day, that first grader. It should be very little and just the basics.
Oh,
yeah.
Kendra's so sweet. Definitely feel like I'm more confident and thrive. Anytime I have doubts or struggling, I get so much support and reassurance.
Oh, thanks, Kendra. I'm so glad.
Brittany says the workshop have you walking away feeling like a bad blank.
Good. Well, I didn't want to say it. I say kick butt homeschool, but I want to say that, Brittany.
Lauren asks, what do the workshops consist of?
Oh my goodness. You guys can answer in the comments what the workshops consist of. They're topics every month. So last week I did an entire workshop on socialization. Like, let's unpack this, let's analyze this. And the goal for the workshops is to expose you to new ideas so that you become more confident and better homeschoolers. So it could be something that is addressing a massive doubt we have, like socializing our kids, okay? Or it could be like we had Julie Ross in 2 months ago, because I really wanted her to do an outline of what a morning time is. Why do all these moms do morning times? Why is it beneficial? What are people doing in morning times? So I invited her because she is one of the major thought leaders in the Charlotte Mason movement. And morning time, not anymore, but morning time is initially kind of a Charlotte Mason thing. So a lot of the morning time curricula, for example, are going to be from Charlotte Mason people. So that we had Jean Burke come in and talk all about getting your kid prepared for college. I have done workshops on, finding your why. It's like one of my favorites that I've ever done. I think finding your why is so vital. When you take that workshop, after the 45 minutes, you have a personalized statement that no one can refute as to why you homeschool. That's just completely disarming to everybody who asks. Like if they say, oh, why do you homeschool? And you literally answer and they're like, oh, okay, yeah. Like they can't say anything about it because it's so personalized and done in such a way that builds confidence. So
you have 11 workshops.
11?
Yeah, and it's growing every month.
Yeah. Parenting. We have Marnie is going to teach in December. I forget her topic. Do you guys remember? I know we had polled the group. Like, do we want her to talk about sibling rivalry or? Oh, I think it's sensitive and intense. Do any of you have kind of intense kiddos? Yeah. I think she's doing it on if you have kind of a little of an intense household or a kid who has a lot of emotions, like how to love that kid in an amazing way. So, yeah.
What advice can I give my friend who's looking to homeschool her autistic son?
Well, I don't know her particular situation, but I will say that a lot of parents who have children who are on the spectrum have found homeschooling to be life-giving. I think I'll stop there because I could go in. I don't think I need to go into how autistic kids can be treated in the system. I don't want to go there, but it really does depend on the family and what they're able to do and what they are able to provide. So, and I don't know her, but I would say that so many families whose children have autism have found a safe haven in homeschooling.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, someone was... Lauren
How's
was
my sound? How's this mic? Let me know.
Lauren was just asking if she has access to those workshops in Thrive.
Yes.
And
yeah, when you join Thrive, you have access to it's literally hundreds and hundreds of dollars of these classes at your fingertips to watch on replay at your leisure. And if you ever can't make a workshop live, it's available on replay. I just finished editing Socialization yesterday. You guys, I did have to refilm it. Oh, that was a nightmare. Oh my goodness. Do you know what that delay was on Wednesday? It was my camera. We thought it was my internet connection. We thought it was because I had too many things open on my computer. And yes, I do always have too many things open on my computer. But it wasn't that. It ended up being my camera. And then I did have to refilm the workshop. And so I refilmed it. And I still wore the pink sweater because it was so cute. And then I edited it yesterday. And so that will be put up tomorrow. Are you going to put that up first thing tomorrow? Yeah. Socialization will be up first thing tomorrow.
Brittany says, enjoying tonight because she's dropping a Christmas supplement this month.
Yes. Yeah. The Christmas supplement's going to be awesome. We do a big one so the supplements, they range in size. And we save a big one for Christmas. I really love Christmas. And we do it as a book study usually for Christmas too. So last year was Holly and Ivy, absolutely gorgeous. This year we're doing an entire unit study on Gift of the Magi. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Following up on that autistic kid.
Yeah.
What did she say? Yeah. Her son is being singled out and blamed by the teacher for being the problem.
That makes me so mad. Yeah. That aggravates me to no end. Usually when there are great teachers and then there are teachers that are not great and not emotionally mature. And unfortunately, what can happen when you have an unhealthy person in a teaching role is when they can't do their job, which it may not be their fault because the system is really set up for teachers to fail. What teachers will often do is blame the kids and blame the families. And that really aggravates me because that isn't necessary.
It's Baby Darlin. Just grab the Lifetime Thrive membership.
Awesome. Baby Darlin, what's your name? I want to look for you.
We have Purple Switch and
Jen
and Gina Perez in the house.
Jen and Gina. Hi. Awesome. I love it. I love you ladies. Jen, you were the one, weren't you, before you joined Thrive, weren't you always coming on my lives commenting on my hair? Was it her or was it somebody else?
She was commenting. I don't know if it was your hair, but...
Or was it my lips? Anyway.
Sure.
What was it, Jen? I don't know. You've just made me laugh for I feel like every live you were cracking me up. And then when you joined Thrive, it was so funny because you kept having to say, it's Jen, Purple Switch. It's Jen, Purple Switch. And it took me like a month to connect who you were. But now I know.
Rebecca says, do you have any experience with ND or 2E kiddos, gifted autism?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of experience. Yeah.
So.
And great resources for you to go to as well.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Sarah Jeffries took the test, got traditional interest led.
Okay.
And
Sarah.
Rudolph, which is
Waldorf. Okay.
Yeah.
It auto-corrected to Rudolph.
Yeah.
That's so funny. It's Christmas time. Waldorf is going to be auto-corrected to Rudolph. That's hilarious.
No.
But yeah, you came out traditional. What curriculum are you using right now? Because traditional would be more along the lines of like Abeka, Bob Jones, Calvert, if you want a secular option. Yeah.
Purple Switch says,
ABC Mouse, like those. Monarch, AOP. Yeah.
Yeah. Purple Switch says, can existing Thrive members scoop up on the savings and membership?
Yes, Jen. I put it in Thrive, girl. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a special link if you're a Thrive member. I put it up in Thrive.
Lee says, wow, I had no idea this existed.
Yeah. We're here for you. And you guys, I'm so excited about December 1st when we launch the Homeschool Success Framework. It's an 8-step process that hits every single aspect that you need to hit in order to build a successful homeschool that sets your kids up in a way where they are prepared to launch. And even if you have a kindergartner, like, you want to know if you're doing all the right things, and you want to make sure you're not forgetting anything, and you don't want to be miserable in the process. Like, this can be a really cool life as well. So we also make sure we're taking care of you. We make sure we're taking care of your kiddos. We're making sure that we're meeting all of their academic needs. So there really isn't an academic profile I haven't worked with, just because with our center we taught thousands of kids K to college. I was reading IEPs and reports all day, every day, and creating our own IEPs at our center. So there really isn't any educational problem that I haven't seen, and also that we didn't actually address privately at our center.
Lauren says, there's so many options and choices, which I love, but I'm kind of drowning in decisions.
I know
Need
you
help.
are. I know you are, girl. I know. This is why I started Thrive, because you get decision fatigue. There's too many things out there. You don't know what's good. You look at reviews on YouTube and you find out they're sponsored anyway, so you can't trust them. So it's really hard. I would say that the first thing to do, this is, if you were in Thrive, this is the first thing I would tell you to do. If you DM'd me and you're like, Christy, what curriculum do I buy? I would have you take the free 5-minute homeschool style finder. I would have you do that very first thing, so that at least we can narrow down, we can rule out 80% of what's on the market to be more customized to what resonates with you and your values. And then we can go subject by subject. Probably you buying a box from a company, so there are big companies where you just buy an entire grade level. That's not the advising you're going to get from me in Thrive. I like to build customized homeschools that truly fit you. Rarely do I recommend a box. I have on occasion in certain instances, but I rarely do that, because there are some really great companies out there that specialize and just kick butt in their particular thing that they do. So it's kind of like what is that saying? Like master of many. What is that saying? Master of many. What is that saying, you guys?
Something of none.
Yeah. Master of none? Something
Yeah.
of many. Are they putting it?
I don't know.
I forget the saying.
Of none.
Oh, are you Googling it right now?
Jack of all trades, master of none?
Jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty late, too.
Oh, it's late. Yeah. Okay. I think we'll go. So, sale ends midnight. Black Friday sale.
Aaron says, is there a difference in monthly, annual memberships content?
No, it's all of the memberships are the same access. It's just the time is the only difference.
You get a few benefits, though, with the lifetime.
Oh, yeah. With Lifetime, you get a 30-minute consult with me. And I think you get, don't you get 50% off if you want to do it after that 30-minute free one that you get. If you ever need a full consult, you get that for 50% off. That's for Lifetime members. But no, there is no, once you're in Thrive, you're in. So the only difference in the different prices are based on how long you're in for. So, alrighty. Well, I love you guys. Please check that out for Black Friday. It does close at midnight. Like if you email me tomorrow, it's been up for 4 days. It is closing at midnight. So don't kick yourself tomorrow. There's a 30-day money back guarantee. I don't want anyone to feel stuck or please no. You're never stuck. I don't want you unhappy with your purchase. So we offer money back guarantees. It's a 30-day money back guarantee. There's really nothing to lose. We don't force you to be in there. You're not stuck. I know sometimes memberships can be a little bit scary, but this one isn't. If you know my heart, you know not that way. So anyway, I hope you guys just check out the landing page, the link tree to see everything that's offered in Thrive. I even have a video in there for behind the scenes of what it's like on the platform. It's not a Facebook because I don't want to be on Facebook. It's a totally private, intimate community on a separate platform.
Morgan has a 2-year-old and says, will you be running the sale next year? I have a 2-year-old, so not there yet.
Yeah, so you will actually, I recommend people with 2, is she just 2 or is she kind of mid 2?
2.
Yeah, so I do recommend Thrive for people who have 2-year-olds to get you set up for your first year of preschool. So, not that you have to, you don't have to, don't think that you're too early by any stretch.
Yeah,
so,
and, okay, yeah. And
we have office hours every month. In fact, this Wednesday for preschool to 2nd grade. So just for you, we have office hours. Oh. We want to get you set up on the right reading program. And
Purple Switch got the annual.
Yay!
Gina's looking at the annual.
Gina.
And, somebody's asking where do I find it?
You go to my link tree. It's right there. I think it's the first button.
Yeah.
On there.
Yeah.
Yep. So we sent out the last email about an hour ago, 2 hours ago. Like, we're not going to bombard you with emails anymore about it. We're done. Like, so I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think I'm tired. Or do I want chocolate?
You always want chocolate.
I always want chocolate. So I love you guys. Always thrilled to be on here live with you. If I can still go live tomorrow. I'll look at my schedule. So, but I wanted to go live tonight because if anyone had questions about Thrive, I wanted to make sure that I could answer them for the Black Friday sale.